You struggle to build the perfect talking head setup to shoot your videos in a normal small room, and think about using the Elgato Promoter and the Sigma 16mm f1.4 lens. But when you research, there are a lot of unanswered questions and you can't be sure if this is the right choice for you. I have had the Sigma 16mm f1.4 from 2020 and the Elgato Promoter for 1 year now. I will share all the details you need to know, plus tips and tricks to improve your image and creation workflow. I will show you what the Sigma 16mm f1.4 can do for your videos and how to correct some minor problems like the distortion, and see if it's safe to attach it directly to the lens. And after, I will show you other options to use the Elgato Promoter with this lens. In February 2020, I purchased this specific Sigma 16mm f1.4. This video is not sponsored, I bought it with my own money. This is my main lens that I use to shoot all my talking head videos. I will not try to convince you of anything, I will just show you facts and results here and you can make your own conclusions. Since 2020, it has been the most used lens from my arsenal, even if I have other much more expensive lenses. Look at the body, you can see that it's been used a lot. I never use lens caps and I'm not that kind of creator who cares much about the gear when it comes to protecting it. This lens is built like a tank. The body is perfectly fine after all these years. Even the big focus rubber ring, it's in great condition. Now let's talk about the 16mm and talking head videos because I read a lot of controversy about this. It's 16mm on crop sensors, too wide and has too much distortion for talking head videos. If you research the best focal distance for portrait videography, you immediately find that the perfect lenses to use are 35, 50 or even 85mm. And that looks great indeed, but for us talking head creators who shoot in small spaces, it's not an option. Let me show you. This is the size of my room. And this is how the image looks when I use the Sigma 16mm f1.4. The distance between me and the lens now it's 1.8 feet, and the distance between me and the background it's around 5.5 feet. Being an f1.4 lens, I have that great blur behind and I like it. Many people like this effect. But let's switch to a 35mm lens. Now I stay in the same spot and clearly it's too tight. Okay, move farther away from the camera. Okay, this is the maximum I can go. It may work, but I almost have zero space between me and the background. No depth of field. I look like I'm taking a picture for my driving license. I don't like how it looks in this small space, but in a normal apartment room, it's almost impossible. Also, I don't like to have this big distance between me and the camera because I shoot alone and I need to control the prompter and the camera. Now let's try the 50mm. Clearly, we need a much bigger room. If you have a huge space to shoot in and don't mind staying farther away from the camera, yes, 35mm and 50mm are great, but as most talking head creators, value-driven video creators film at home in relatively small spaces on crop sensors, this will not work. Even with a full-frame sensor, 50mm will be too tight in this kind of space. And this is why I recommend the 16mm. Talking to so many value-driven creators, I have concluded that 90% or more are shooting in small spaces. And yes, in my opinion, 16mm is a good choice. But what can we do with the distortion? There is a setting that will reduce it and I will show it to you immediately, plus other tips and tricks. But let's see first how it works with the Elgato Promoter. We know that we can attach the Elgato Promoter directly to the Sigma 16mm f1.4 using the included adapter ring that comes with the prompter. Since I bought the Elgato Promoter, 99% of the time it is permanently mounted on my talking head rig like this. I disassemble it only when I need to shoot something to show you. Day and night it stays like this on the desk. I can't talk about other setups, but mine, after 1 year, it's intact. I don't know what you do with your setup if you press on the prompter or hit it, but I can say that mine has zero problems. The lens weight is 405 grams and the Elgato Promoter is 690 grams, a total of 1095 grams, over 1 kilogram. In my experience, the mount on the camera can handle more. Even if it's a full-frame lens, I sometimes use the ZV-10 with the 70-200mm Mark II lens, which weighs 1045 grams. And before having the Mark II, I used the Mark I, which has 1480 grams. I had no problems. I can't find anywhere an official maximum weight we can mount on the camera mount, but in my experience, it can handle a lot. Of course, it's better not to force it. As far as I can tell, after having it like this for 1 year, there is no problem attaching the prompter and this lens having it like this for 1 year. And about damaging the lens, well, this is why I like this lens, because it's built extremely well. I'm frequently asked why I don't buy cheaper similar lenses. Before I buy something new, I watch the same as you do reviews made by other creators. And when it comes to cheap lenses, I always heard that the bodies are full plastic. I don't like that because I like to do long-term investments. This is why I like this well-built lens. Also, I don't recommend attaching the prompter to the lens if you use a motorized lens like the kit lens. But in my experience, with the 16mm, it's fine. But now let's talk about a few tricks if you want to be safer and reduce the distortion of this lens. Mounting the prompter to the lens is the easiest way to use it, and if you want to reduce the pressure, you can simply use a small magic arm attached to the bottom of the prompter and clamp it to the tripod. Don't force it because you will create the opposite effect. If you attach it, gently position it and tighten it up. The magic arm will hold all the pressure. This is an easy and cheap way to be safer if you are worried about the pressure on the lens. The magic arm is cheap and I will add an affiliate link in the description. Also, if you are interested in the equipment that I use to shoot my videos, I will add affiliate links in the description. If you click on my links, you're not going to pay anything extra, but I will earn a small commission and this will help me get sponsors away from this channel and create more valuable content for you. Thank you. The second option is to use the universal plate of the prompter that comes in the box and mount the camera on the prompter. Attach the prompter to the tripod and place the camera on it. I am not the biggest fan of this method because you need to cover the camera with the fabric and it's more complicated to see the screen if you need to, but it works and you can manage it. Now, let me show you how you can correct the distortion a little bit if you use the ZV-10. If you use other models, search in the menu for this function and see if you have it. Go to the menu number 1, submenu number 2, lens compensation, and switch the distortion compensation to auto. Look at this line behind me. This is the distortion before and this is the distortion after. It will not look like the 35mm, but it's better. And also, if you stay in the middle of the image, the distortion will be less pronounced. The big distortion is on the edges. If you shoot in a small space, analyze and see if you can use a longer lens, and if not, the Sigma 16mm f1.4 can be an investment for the long term. Use a simple magic arm and eliminate all the risks of attaching the prompter to the lens, and activate the distortion compensation to correct the image distortion. But you can use the perfect lens and do all these things for nothing if you don't use your shooting space correctly and maximize the results by placing the camera the right way, placing and using the lights the best way possible, and taking care of your background. To solve this, I will give you a dedicated video where you will learn how to solve all these problems and transform your videos faster than you think. Watch this video and improve your creation process immediately.